Well, we've been through Mr. Farage's reasons for resigning his seat in Parliament and effectively calling a new by-election in Clacton. And I think we know to a degree, and obviously we'll be hearing a lot more about what it is that the Reform Party are going to offer the people of Clacton, although I would contend that we're probably going to hear a lot about the individual man and the working man and their fight against the establishment from Mr. Farage, because that's the way he seems to be framing this particular by-election. But to be fair, and I don't think we've heard a lot about it, I thought we'd have a look at what the other contender is offering the public, and that's Count Binhead. Have you seen Count Binhead?
I have, as we said on the earlier pod, very splendid Binhead, Binface, whatever he calls himself.
He does.
And yeah. He looks,
and the actual head you were saying, because apparently the concept is that he lives on another planet.
Okay.
Because he was suggesting in the interview that I saw that he's on his way back to his home planet when he heard that Mr. Farage, for rest and relaxation, he said
he should get on well in Parliament then, shouldn't he? Because most of them do. Yeah.
From another, absolutely. But I thought we'd have a look at what his manifesto is, taking into account what he said this time round, and where Binhead has stood in, because he stands in quite a lot of these by-elections, doesn't he? I don't think they put out a full panoply of people at a general election, but they pick and choose which particular seat to stand in. And he must be, I think as we suggested, he must be in with a reasonable chance of accumulating a fair old number of votes.
I would think so. Yeah.
So, yeah. Maybe we should delve into what his policies are. So I've dug them out and we'll just go through. We've got ice cream price controls.
Okay.
So he's looking to legally cap the price of a 99.
Okay.
A 99. That's
I love a 99. It's one of my favourites.
At 99p.
Wow.
So that, that'd be popular, especially with the weather as it is at the moment. I mean, I could do with a.
I remember when the BBC ran an article about tourists from abroad being fleeced because they were asked to pay 99p for a 99. So that's back in the day when they were, the normal price was like 30p or something, but tourists thought they were 99. So I'm with him on that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, gets my.
It's quite interesting because we laugh on these sort of things. Behind that, bearing in mind that we're in a seaside resort of Clacton.
Yeah.
That would probably be popular with tourists and probably be popular with a lot
probably
of people
not Mr. Whippies and people like that. No,
not popular with maybe they'll do a Binhead 99. That might be something to attract crowds in. But I thought that was quite interesting. Public sector pay. He's looking to tie all government ministers and politicians' salary increases directly to the wages of NHS nurses. Now it's funny, but there's a kernel of appealing to the public in that, isn't there, really?
I do like that. Yeah,
I think that'll appeal to the man on the street who feel that nurses are underpaid and government ministers are overpaid.
That would suggest that government ministers are worth as much as the nurse.
Well, I don't know whether I don't know whether it might. I mean, I don't know how much government ministers' pay increases have been over the years.
They've been substantial. A standard MP now is it 94,000 a year?
Yeah. That's quite a lot. I don't know whether they're talking about bringing the level of salary up to the level of. I think he's just talking about pay increases. So I suppose
all right.
Ministers had a 3% increase, but I think that's a popular policy. I think that would, in all the satire behind it all, I think there's some,
I can see where your vote's going, but keep going.
I'm not sure about this one. A minimalist housing target, a firm commitment to build at least one single affordable house, which would be awarded via an interborough knockout tournament and lottery.
I think that's brilliant because I must admit, I don't know what it's like around your way, but they say, here's the new estate and 30% of them are going to be affordable. And their definition of affordable was like £475,000, which is almost double the national house price average.
Yeah.
So he has a point there.
He has a point, and it highlights it, doesn't it? Putting in that humorous way makes it almost, it highlights that, I'm not sure about the next one. Nationalization. of cultural assets, placing singer Adele and all British model railways under direct state ownership. Nationalising Adele, I quite like that
Well,
idea.
she sells out Vegas, doesn't she?
Well, she does.
Yeah. So we'd get all the profits from that, wouldn't we?
I don't know what you'd have to pay to nationalise Adele. How much do you think she'd be worth?
I think she'd probably say 10 times my annual income, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
And then, but then she'd have to be. It'd be of a limited time span, wouldn't it? And she'd have to have a contract where she wrote a certain number of songs each year.
Like a franchise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So water companies forcing Thames water bosses to personally swim in the polluted rivers that they dump sewage into.
Yeah, I think that would be a very popular,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
Tech and media restoration, bringing back CFAX teletext services and offering free broadband for everyone. I seem to recall free broadband for everyone was one of Jeremy Corbyn's.
Yeah.
So so way out there.
My kids used to watch the Premier League results on CFAX. I remember that era, and the great thing is they were doing other things. They weren't glued to mobile phones or iPads or something. Yeah. And the thrill when the sort of ticker rolled over, or the disappointment, depending on who you're supporting. But yeah. I did my first American flights on CFAX. I bought them off CFAX.
That would have been teletext you're thinking of. CFAX
Sorry.
was the BBC One because they couldn't advertise on. So because I think we went on our holiday to
Lorette de Mar on CFAX.
Teletext.
Yeah, that might explain a lot.
Many years ago. Yeah. We're on for that one. I mean, if we're talking about taking away kids' phone or taking away their access to social media.
To be fair, Sakir's already going in that direction.
Yeah, CFAX would plug that gap.
Yeah.
We could sit and watch CFAX. Public transport conscription, introducing immediate mandatory military conscription for individuals who use speakerphones on public transport.
Fantastic.
So those.
No, I agree. That's really interesting. Incidentally, sorry to take you in one direction. No. I've just had a news flash on the computer here that Dale Vince, the energy guy.
Oh yeah.
He's agreed to fund Count Binface's campaign.
Has he?
So this is news. This is the 9th of July at 4 p.m. This is live.
This is big money. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Has he declared it? I presume he has, if he's all over the media.
Well, I just saw it flash up, so it's unsubstantiated. But hey, if it's true, then this is gaining momentum.
This is gaining momentum, yeah. And I would imagine there'll also be, I'm tempted to catch a train down to Clacton and go out and campaign for Count Binface, not Lord. I'm getting him mixed up with the other one, Lord
Such.
No, Screaming Lord Such, but there was Lord Buckethead as well, wasn't there?
Do you think they're all the same? Do you think they're all the same?
I'm not sure. Well, Screaming Lord Such is no longer with us, I don't think.
That's a shame. But there's a trend, isn't there, with Buckethead and Binface, and they're not showing their face. So perhaps their ministers would have a different apparel on top of their head.
I just wait. I was saying,
I'll be the minister. I'll be the minister who can wear the laundry basket. I'll do that.
I really fancy the idea. Did you see when Burnham went in to be anointed as a minister the other day? Anointed is perhaps not the word. There's a bloke I'm not sure whether it was one of the in a wig with a cane walking backwards as he takes one step forward and walking backwards as he takes one. I can't wait to see Count Buckethead with his. Presumably, I wonder whether he'd be allowed to wear his bucket in Parliament.
Well, he might have a bit of trouble getting through the security scanner, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's got to, hasn't he? You can't be Count Buckethead without a bucket on your head. Or Binface, sorry.
Binface, yeah. We're getting mixed up with Lord Buckethead as a.
But can you see his cabinet meeting though? Do you get my drift? If somebody's wearing an Alibaba linen basket, what else have we got? What other things can you cover your head with?
Well, you'd have a cone, Miss Cone.
Oh yes, yeah. Count Cone. Yeah.
And Lord
the Dowager tea cozy, just massive tea cozy. I think we're onto something here. I think we're onto something.
I think we need to create a cabinet. We'll do that for next week. Create a cabinet of. Anyway, I move on because there's a few more bits to look at.
Sorry, I thought we were done.
Royal property distribution, forcing the royal family to keep only one palace, with the rest gifted to the nation to help eradicate homelessness.
Well, it's in the direction of Prince William's sort of heart, isn't it?
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's
very Republican.
Highlighting,
very Republican.
Yeah. Sporting and food caps, abolishing VAR, which I think is
definitely, yeah.
And price capping Wigan kebabs at £2. I think this is a niche area, this price capping kebabs at Wigan Town.
Well, look, I think if you're going to support Wigan, the very least we can do is cap the price of their kebabs. So that would be mine.
Two more we've got to get through.
Yep.
Democratic and age reforms, introducing a minimum voting age of 16 alongside a maximum voting age cap of 80. So you can't vote once you get over the age of 80.
Well, there's
there's sense to that.
Labour want it to be 16, don't they? Yeah. We're a few years off 80, but we might feel differently when we're there.
Well, I think evidence from the NATO summit as to whether you've still got all your faculties about you when you reach 80. Probably.
How about, when you go for a driving test, you used to have to be able to read the number plate. Yeah. Maybe that should be the test. Instead of all this ID nonsense at the booth, maybe they should say, right, read that number plate, recite the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you do some sort of dance? And if you can do all three, then you're good enough to vote. How about that?
Well, it might be, but I suppose the argument to that, I think that's a good idea, but I think the argument to that would be a lot of people under the age of 80 can't do that at the moment, can they? I'm not sure I could see a number plate for how many yards. And Lord's Prayer I could probably do, I think, but we won't go into that.
Do you know what? Well, there was a time when we could, but I might struggle with some of the words.
Mind you, that's very, very...
it's not very diverse, I get it.
No.
But I was just getting into the spirit of it, Sean.
Yeah. And our final one, hyper-local plumbing repairs, moving the awkwardly placed hand dryer in the men's toilet at the Ground and Treaty pub in Uxbridge to a more sensible position.
Who could argue with that?
Who could argue? Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, he's got my vote, and he's obviously got Dale Vince's vote. Get yourself down there.
Absolutely. Well, we should see how it all progresses.
Yeah.